Hi, I'm Shannon.
And I'm Taylor.
And you're listening to Nefarious. We are two 911 night shift dispatchers that decided to give our perspective on cases and events that happen before and after the emergency call. We cope with difficult situations, calls, and life with dark humor. We mean no disrespect. Our intentions are always to research and present information correctly and truthfully.
Warning. The audio you're about to hear is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
911, where's your emergency?
There's a girl running down the street being like her stepfather is killing everyone in her family. It's on the corner of where there's a body shop and the fire department. Do you know what road this is?
Okay, what's your name?
Get into the fire department.
What's your name?
Do you know what road this is? Laura Lendell Road.
What?
It's Laura Lendell Road.
Okay, and what did the female say to you?
And she says that her stepfather is killing everybody in her house. I did. I'm on the phone with them right now.
Did she say how or what was happening?
I asked her to get in the car with me, and she said she couldn't leave her family. But I think she ran to the fire department.
So she went to the fire station. What did she look like?
She's probably a young teenager, probably like 16 maybe, with long blonde hair. And she has a black dog.
Did she say anything about a baby?
I don't know about no baby. She said she just couldn't leave her family. But I see a car running around. I'm sorry?
Do you see anything from the house?
So I drove down the road a little bit, so I was afraid that I was going to get shot myself since I interacted with her face to face. So I'm just about maybe 3 houses down. But she's waiting at the corner. I don't know what she's doing, but I kind of still see her in the corner. But I saw a car kind of came around and whipped around, so I'm not exactly sure if that's him or if he's chasing her or not. I'm sorry?
What kind of vehicle was it?
I saw it. It was like a gray. Did you see that car whip around? It's one of the fire department guys.
Okay.
I think maybe a fire department guy. It was a regular kind of focus-looking gray car.
Okay, we have help on the way. Thank you so
Dark
much.
gray.
If you
Okay, all right.
anything else, call us back, okay, and steer clear of the area at this time.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So this was in Claremont County, Ohio, which is just east of Cincinnati, Ohio. This means nothing to you, does it?
Sure.
Geography. So the call came into the Claremont County, Ohio 911 center on June 15th, 2023. This is
2023.
Yeah,
pretty recent.
It's really recent. This is the Doerman family, Doerman. I think I'm saying that correctly. So the family consists of a father, Chad, mom, Laura. Laura has a 14-year-old daughter from a previous marriage, and then Chad and Laura have 3 sons together, and they are Clayton, who is 7, Hunter, who is 4, and Chase, who is 3. So before we get into the call itself, because not a lot of information, this is a third-party caller, which we do get. A lot of our calls come in that way.
Yeah.
It sounds like a teenager had ran up to her and was like, "My stepdad's killing the family." It was pretty much all the pertinent information we got. No specifics whatsoever.
Yeah, but how did she get? She was scared to be shot.
The caller was. So
Yeah.
the caller was scared to interact with a teenager because
She didn't want to get shot.
Exactly.
So did she just assume, or that's
I'm
what they
assuming
was
so
told?
because she said that the teen came to her, said, "Call 911. My stepdad's killing my family," and then she ran to a local fire department.
Okay.
I don't know if that fire department is a volunteer station. A lot of people are confused about the fact that volunteer stations are not manned.
Yeah. No.
So if you run there, it's an empty
Well,
building.
we get calls a lot, and they're like, "It's 2 minutes down the road." They're not there
They're
all
not
the
there.
time. Like
Exactly.
they're volunteer. They gotta get their clothes on, get to the house, like get in the car, get to the station,
Yeah.
and then roll a unit.
So before we get into the day of the call, which is the 15th, we'll go back a little bit. So on Saturday, June 10th, Chad and his sons had a boys' day. They went to a dirt track race together, which is really cool. And then mom and the 14-year-old daughter had like a girls' day
What was
together.
the 14-year-old's name again?
Alexis, I believe, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay, sorry.
And then on Sunday, Chad took all three boys fishing.
Oh my god.
I know. So the boys love two things, and that is baseball and fishing. And that actually comes up a lot.
I was gonna say that's you.
Yeah, it is me. So on the 14th, before Chad left for work, he woke his stepdaughter up, which was abnormal for him, because he leaves for work between 5 and 6 a.m. And it was weird because he woke her up and he just wanted to apologize for anything he had done to hurt her. And she thought that was weird, but she went back to sleep. He went to work. Business as usual.
That was when?
That was on the 14th, so the day before the 911 call.
Okay.
So on the 15th, the day of the 911 call, Chad went to work as usual, but he left work at 9:30 in the morning. He was an insulator.
Okay.
He left work at 9:30. He had talked to his mom, and after talking to his mom, he had said that he had some confusing feelings, was the extent of what he told his mom. And the details of what exactly that conversation entailed have not been released that I could find. But based on what he told his mom told him that he probably needed to see someone based on these feelings. And she recommended that he go to like a clinic. And so he went to Kroger. Did you know Kroger had clinics in them?
No.
Okay. So this one in Ohio did.
They had like pharmacies and stuff. Probably flu shots, maybe.
This was Township Kroger's little clinic. He went in there. He walked in. He left 2 minutes later. He did not check in. He did not speak with anyone.
Okay.
So he then went home. So he gets home from work early, which is not normal for him. And he spent the day doing yard work and playing with his kids. So pretty average day. Like clearly he's going through something, stressing out about something. And so he goes home, does yard work, plays with the boys.
More mental health related.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So his wife ended up making lunch that day. And as she's serving him lunch, he makes another weird comment. And he says, this is going to be his last good meal.
Oh no.
So red flags.
Yeah.
Understandably.
Eerie, but...
Yeah. He then, after lunch, he called his dad, and he made another comment to his dad, and he said, Clayton is going to be the hardest one. His dad has no context.
Clayton is the 3-year-old?
Clayton is the
7-year-old.
Yeah, the oldest. Mm-hmm. Yeah. His dad has no context, so you don't know, like, you get that call, and you're like, the hardest to raise, the hardest to educate, like,
right.
You have no idea what's going on. And so then after that, at 3:30 p.m., he then began to read the Bible to his kids.
Okay.
Which was, I don't know if it was normal for them or not. I'm not sure of like the religion in the family. But he's just like
scripture
walking around the house and reading the Bible, and he starts mumbling, Chad knows what's right. Chad knows what's right, which is him. So that was between 3:30 and 3:45.
How old was Chad? I'm sorry.
Chad is 42, 43.
Okay.
And then that was between 3:30 and 3:45 that he's like reading the Bible and saying, Chad knows what's right. Chad knows what's right. Mm-hmm. So at 4 p.m., he ends up opening their gun safe in the home. And his wife said, you're scaring me. And he said, I'm just playing around. That was what he had told her whenever he opened a gun safe with 4 children in the house.
Yeah.
Between the ages of 3 and 14. So a little after 4, they are now concerned. Like Laura, based on the comments he made about his last good meal and other statements, she's concerned about his mental health, of him harming himself. So around 4 p.m., Chad, Laura, and the 3 boys go into the master bedroom of the home. just to kind of have family time together. The 14-year-old is in the living room, like, watching TV. And so they kind of, like, lay on the bed, and...
Is that kind of shitty or no?
Well...
Did I take it... Am I just taking it wrong?
No, but I get it. Like, the stepkid is
I was like,
somewhere else.
Like, the redheaded stepchild.
You're
going to have family time, like, in a, like, closed-off area. I mean, granted, I guess she didn't want to be there, but...
Yeah. So, basically, it was... Laura was afraid that he was going to harm himself, and I think she wanted to surround him with family to...
AKA his other child.
I understand that.
Okay. Whatever.
So, after laying down, Chad jumps up. He grabs a .22 rifle from the safe.
Oh, jeez.
And terror completely fills the room.
Right?
Like, everyone's flipping out. Because now you've got 3 kids in a room, and you've got someone who...
It was 3 something and 7. What was the
It was...
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Clayton is 7. Hunter is 4. And Chase is 3.
Okay.
At this time.
And then the stepdaughter is 14.
Correct.
Okay.
So whenever he grabs the gun, everyone starts screaming. And they're telling him that they love him. They're trying to talk him out of hurting himself. Mm-hmm. And he says, Laura goes to grab the phone to dial 911, and Chad grabs the phone and throws it across the room and tells her it's too late. So she's afraid that her 3 boys are going to witness him harming himself. Mm-hmm. He points the rifle at Hunter, who is
4.
He is 4.
Oh gosh.
And fires multiple rounds.
Fuck him.
So Hunter ends up being shot in the right arm, the right torso, stomach area, and twice in the right side of his head.
Oh gosh.
Clayton, alright, so Alexis, who is the 14-year-old, hears them screaming and runs into the bedroom in time to see the first shots for Hunter. She then grabs Clayton and...
The 7-year-old, okay.
Yeah, and runs out of the room. Laura goes to Hunter and is trying to render aid to him, and then she then picks him up and takes him outside to get him out of the house to try to render aid to him. Meanwhile, Clayton and Alexis have gone into a field behind the house, and Chad chases them.
No.
Yeah. So, he then takes aim at Clayton.
Oh gosh.
And shoots him from a distance. Whenever...
Was he a bad shot, hopefully?
No.
Oh,
he was not a bad shot. It did not kill him with the first shot, but it did cause him to fall.
Baby.
At that time, 911 is called, and Laura had called 911 the first time. We did not hear that call.
Okay.
And Chad then goes up to Clayton, who has fallen because he's been shot one time, and he fires multiple rounds into this child at point blank range.
I fucking hate him.
We do hate him. We hate him fucking much.
Oh my, fuck him. I'm so mad.
Clayton was shot in the left arm, in the back, and twice in the head. So this is now 2 children that have been shot 4 times. So after witnessing Chad execute Clayton, Alexis, the 14-year-old, turns and runs back into the house to get Chase,
the 3-year-old,
the baby. She takes him.
She's brave, man.
This is a 14-year-old doing these things.
Badass.
She takes Chase in her arms and then flees the residence and starts to run with him. As she flees with...
I can't imagine what her thought process was.
Yeah.
She's strong as shit.
So Chad ends up stopping her when she's holding Chase, and Laura has now come in.
Okay.
Which is the mom. She is...
This is rough.
He has held Alexis at gunpoint and ordered her to put Chase down. She puts him down, and he runs behind trash cans in the driveway.
Chases?
Yeah, she tells him to run in an attempt to hide from Chad. And at that point, that's when Alexis ends up running to the fire department. And that's when she told this neighbor, my stepdad's killing the entire family.
So this was pretty a pretty well-up neighbor, like a residentially
it was. And we have some pictures of their house and kind of the surrounding area that we'll upload.
Okay.
So Laura is now trying to protect her baby. And so she runs up. She has Chase in her arms. Chad comes up and he's wrestling the child away from her. And he ends up biting her.
Chase does?
No. Chad ends up biting Laura to get her to put Chase down.
Okay.
And she has Chase on the ground and she's holding the gun and he's pointing it at her 3-year-old. And so she doesn't know what else to do. She caps her hand over the end of the gun.
I mean, what can you do?
Yeah.
At the very least.
He then fires the gun through her hand. At that point, he then ends up shooting him 1 time. So the first 2 children were shot 4 times. The 3rd child was shot once.
Does it say where?
It does not say
but
where.
But with the 22,
yeah, like this is a 22 Marlin rifle. This is not like a 22 pistol. This is for a child. This is still a fatal weapon. I know.
Can you I hate to go can you imagine having children with someone you have the faith of putting your DNA with someone?
They were just at a dirt track 3 days ago.
I get mental health. I am.
They were just fishing.
It. But it's so insane to think about. Someone, me and you had kids tomorrow. And all of a sudden tomorrow you're I'm going to kill our kids.
Mm-hmm. So in an attempt, in the struggle between Laura and Chad, the gun ends up jamming before he shoots the baby. Okay. He goes back to the house and reloads. And comes back.
That quick?
Mm-hmm. She's not able to get him anywhere.
Right.
Nowhere to go. And so after he had hunted down and shot all 3 kids, the kids are scattered at this point. Right. So she had brought the first child out to try to render aid. The second child was a ways away, and we have pictures of where they were shot.
Yeah. Because he was they were running.
He was hunting them down, basically. And then where the youngest was shot.
Is it a reason he didn't shoot Alexis?
It's
not that I wanted her to. Obviously,
right. It's never explained why. And she is a badass in the story, hands down. She went and tried to rescue 2 of her brothers. Mm-hmm. She unfortunately was not able to.
But 14, she did the damn thing.
And then she's the one that ran and said call 911. She's the one that ran to a fire department trying to get help.
Strong.
Absolutely.
And it's sad that she has to be that at that age, but.
So multiple 911 calls are made. So Laura tried to make one to begin with. He threw the phone across the room. Uh-huh. Alexis had the neighbor call 911, and then Laura called 911 herself to see where help was because she knew that 911 had been called.
Right.
So 2 deputies arrive on scene: Deputy Seth Sparks and Deputy Chad Popham with the Claremont County Sheriff's Office. And without regards for their own safety, they proceed to take the defendant into custody. So I've watched the body cam footage of this arrest, and he is sitting on porch steps when they get there. The children, once he had shot the children and they were scattered across the yard, he goes and gets them and carries them back to the front of the house and lays them side by side. And then goes and sits down on the porch steps.
Oh my gosh.
Calmly.
Is this the case you were you had to take a second and take a breath?
I had to take multiple breaks researching this case. And you know me, shit does not get to me.
No.
This one bothered me.
It did. You stopped and you said, man, it's tough. And I was do it. And I had no idea. I can't imagine. I'm sorry.
3 babies.
Fuck him.
But their story deserves to be told.
Absolutely.
Too.
I'll shut my mouth on him.
Yeah. So when the deputies get on scene, he is sitting on the porch steps, and they order him to stand up, and he just sits there. And
I feel like this is vaguely familiar. I might have seen this body cam somewhere.
The body cam's intense. I'm not sure who it is on the body cam, but I loved this. I'm assuming it's from a superior officer, and was basically the officers get on scene. They see the 3 children that are on the ground, and they've reported that in, get medics here now. Mm-hmm. And as a dispatcher, that's hard traffic to hear.
Absolutely.
You've got 3 juvenile victims, and someone on the radio, I'm assuming a superior, says if you need to put him down, put him down.
As he should.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. He basically says, I did it. He surrenders to police. Without any incident, he is taken into custody. All 3 children are pronounced deceased on scene.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I just looked at... Why did you let me do that?
They are...
Stop.
They are the cutest kids
They're
on the
so
planet.
precious.
They are. And we hate him for taking these children from the world.
Fuck you, Chad.
So, first responders arrive on scene and try to attend to the boys. While he is in the cruiser, he says, tell them I did it. Just take me to jail. Like, at no point is he asking about the welfare of his children that he's just shot. No concern whatsoever for anyone
Did he
involved.
have any, like, history of mental health or anything like that?
No. Not that I saw anywhere. Not that I saw.
Man.
So, he is transported to the Claremont County Sheriff's Office to be interviewed.
Honestly, good on them for them police officers that went, because I can't imagine.
I'm not that person.
I mean, that's why we're not cops.
I see 3 children laying on the ground with gunshot wounds.
You'll be the next one.
You're telling me you done it?
All right, cool.
Bullets are not that expensive.
That's it.
That's it.
But I
Case closed.
I commend them, and that is what takes officers to be like the way that they are. Because
But I mean, honestly, like you and I have talked about that because we have the privilege of being able to see some body cam footage from
Right.
our officers. Nothing like this, thank God. But we see how people just like talk to our officers, and our officers just stand there, and it does not affect them.
Professionalism, yeah,
Absolutely. And I'm not that person. I've never have been.
We'd wind up on the news.
We would.
There's a mute button in dispatch for a reason.
There is.
No.
We trust that.
Honest to God, though, like, I can't imagine the officers rolling to that scene and seeing that and being able to compose themselves. Like,
Yeah.
Commend 100% to
I mean,
them.
a lot of these officers, especially our officers, they have children.
Yeah.
And I don't know
But
how...
regardless, we don't have kids, but, like, me and you have always said, like, any kid, like...
We defend them as if they're ours.
They are ours. Like, any kid around us is safe. 110%. I don't even like kids, but... I
We
like,
will protect them.
Exactly.
We just don't want to hang out with them.
Certain ones, 90% of them.
Some
However, they're all safe around me,
Yeah.
and that's just I can't imagine going into something like that. Because like if I was like the neighbor and they told me that, oh child, you better be hope to God the cops get there before I do.
So Chad is transported to the sheriff's office to be interviewed, and so during the interview, he makes a lot of statements which illustrate his intent. When they ask him the name and ages of the kids, like normally whenever you ask a parent, you have 3 kids. You're going to list them like in order that they were born normally. No. Chad lists them in the order he shot them.
Well, that was the same order, no? Mm-mm. No, because the 4-year-old was first.
4-year-old, 7-year-old, and 3-year-old.
Okay, I'm here. I'm sorry.
And he also says that...
Why did he do that? He didn't say.
He did not say. And
I assume he's still breathing.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
So he then also tells the detectives that because Laura, his wife, tried to stop him, like when she put her hand over the gun and he shot through her hand, that he should have killed her first.
Is she okay?
She's fine.
Well,
I mean, not emotionally.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry. I should have been more
Physically,
specific.
yes. She had a gunshot wound to the hand was her only injury, other than absolute heartbreak.
I cannot even imagine.
No. He was given a $20 million bond. The fact that he got bond, I don't care if he doesn't have a criminal history. The fact that he got bond at all.
No criminal history?
No, he had.
I know. You said you didn't think he had any mental health. But
he had like a previous domestic call, but no charges or convictions.
with Laura or
I don't know.
Okay.
It just said that there was a previous domestic call.
I'm so sorry. No, he was 42, 43. Never mind. That was my question.
So I believe he was 42 and Laura was 45, if I remember reading that correctly. And so
I'm not liking him at all.
no, there's no.
This is why
saving quality to him
cannot
whatsoever.
be cops.
No.
Gosh. I'm so mad. I'm ready to roll.
Let's
ride.
At his arraignment, he appeared in that, like, the padded green suit, what we call the turtle suit, because apparently that's, like, what they put on people when they are harmed to, like, a danger to themselves, like a suicide suit, basically, to make sure he can't harm himself. We don't care. So he had multiple visits with his family, like his mom and dad and his brother. His mom, dad, and brother after he was arrested. And in one of the conversations, like, of course, whenever you're in jail, like, all of your phone conversations, all of your visitation conversations,
It's recorded.
Everything's recorded.
Do people not realize that?
Absolutely not. We see that.
It's so weird.
We have seen
It's
people.
bizarre as
We have
hell.
seen people that are in jail and they get on a phone in a jail and it's like, "Hey, they didn't find the gun under the chair. Go move it."
Yeah.
Guess what the officers are
You're
doing?
dumb.
They're going to get the gun under the chair.
And then we've also, like, heard or seen, I can't remember what it was, but, like, we've seen multiple of, like, people, like, in interrogation, and they'll talk to family or whoever or whatever after it's gone. Like, they're left, like, the investigators. And they'll say something stupid like that. Man.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I'm so aggravated.
Everything in a jail is recorded.
I'm so mad.
So in one of the conversations with his brother, he says, he makes a comment that makes me want to
Oh, gosh. Don't.
punch him in the face
Don't say
before
it.
I shoot him in the face.
Oh, no.
He says, and they thought Hitler was big. Yeah. Yeah.
Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
So, we ride at dawn.
We ride at dawn. We do. To Ohio.
So mad. We can get there, like, in a couple hours. It's fine. Oh, gosh.
More than a couple.
This
but
is
like
exactly why.
8.
8? It's not 8 hours.
It's probably 8.
I went to sleep. Okay, we're getting off subject, but it's not 8. Jesus Christ.
I'm also tired, so I'm gonna need a nap first. But then we ride at dawn.
As
It's
pumped as
literally
I'm ready.
dawn right now.
And this is how you know I'm real. I'm ready to drive.
That's
how you know I'm
It
ready.
is 7 a.m. We have not slept all night. It is literally dawn. I'm looking out your windows.
Okay, so we're ready. I got
We're
gas.
ready.
I have gas, and I'm ready to drive. And you know, if I'm saying I'm ready to drive, it's go time, bitch.
So, 3 children were murdered. The prosecutor, I love him. He charged 9 counts.
Where is this in
Of
Ohio
murder.
again?
This is near Cincinnati, Ohio. Claremont County, I believe it was.
Cincinnati is only 5 hours away. Let's go.
We can make it in 4.
Hypothetically, this is a joke.
So the prosecutor decided, I'm going to throw everything I can at this case to make sure I can get a conviction.
Right.
So 3 children are killed. He charges 9 counts of murder. And the reason why is because the first child had 4 gunshot wounds.
Mm-hmm.
Second child had 4 gunshot wounds. Third child had 1. Every single shot,
Wow.
every single shot was at least an attempted murder.
Mm-hmm.
Like, of course, there's a fatal shot in these children. But he charges 9.
So I'm so sorry. You know I'm not gunny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you describe to me, like, you said it was a 22 revolver shotgun?
No, it's a 22 rifle. It's a
So,
22 Marlin.
Large.
Yeah, it's a long
So
gun.
this
is
isn't
what we
like
call it.
over him just pulling out of his pocket like
No.
pew 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 pew.
No, this is the whole rifle.
Can you I don't know. You know I'm not gunny. You're gunny. How do you like reload it and things like to the next shot? You know
So,
what I'm trying to understand.
22s are, you can get single shot. Like, I have a couple single shot 22s, which means that there's like a bolt action.
Yeah, okay.
That you put one in at a time.
I'm here.
I also have a 22 that holds a mag.
Mm-hmm.
It holds 14 rounds. And so you can
Just pew 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 after it.
yeah.
I didn't
yeah.
know you could do that on a rifle. Well, no, on a rifle. I'm here. Okay, sorry,
Yeah.
I misunderstood. But so it wouldn't be anything for him. Like if he was just squeezing the trigger, it'd be like pee 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 pee.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. And 22s they're very small bullets. You know. You've had some experience with a 22 round.
I didn't get shot.
You did not get shot. You just know someone who did. And that round was not fatal. But obviously in some instances. And also that was a handgun where this is a rifle.
Right. So is the bullets different in a shotgun?
No, it's still...
Or a rifle, excuse me.
It's still called a 22 long rifle. Even when it's shot from a handgun. That's just the round caliber.
Okay.
Sorry,
Sorry we're getting into this.
No, you're fine. A rifle is going to have a faster velocity and more penetration than a handgun, and I think that's the difference.
And he was from at least one when he was with Laura, he was at least somewhat close to the child because she was like actively trying. Like, I mean, I know that Clayton, the 7-year-old, was pretty a significant amount away.
The first round did not kill him; it just dropped him. Unfortunately, for Chad to be able to approach him and shoot him at point blank range within the next 3 rounds.
So for me, I think about it in like the aspect of like a 7-year-old running like scared
from your
death
dad.
From your father, who is supposed to protect you.
Who just took you to a dirt track, who just took you fishing.
Yes.
The other thing that I forgot to mention earlier is the 7-year-old played baseball.
Don't break my hair. Oh.
And Chad was the third base coach for the baseball team.
It's so normal.
He is the All-American dad up until this moment.
And it's just, it's so sad and scary to think about that child had that exact moment where he had to, the person that he loved and thought was supposed to protect him and all these things, he had to have that immediate like run, like he's trying to hurt you.
The person that you look to protect you from the whole world is now the monster,
and that's so sad.
And you don't know where to run.
That breaks my heart.
I know.
I'm telling
you.
I know that like the 4-year-old and 3-year-old are obviously very significant, but like 7, you remember things at 7.
You do,
and like you're a little bit more developed at 7, and that just breaks my heart because the 14-year-old, which is even more wild. Who, I mean, I guess technically wasn't his, but if she, however, just say that they've been together 7 years, I mean, she probably knew him since she was 7.
Yeah.
So when she knew him at 7.
I mean, at least at 7, because Clayton's 7.
So even if she just knew him at 7 years old, that's where she grew up with him at. And now she's 14, and this thing's happened, and I don't know their lifestyle and their dynamic and things like that. However, it's just insane to me that she rolls into this bedroom, if you will, or if that's where it was.
Yeah,
I think
it was the master bedroom.
She hears the screaming and stuff. She rolls in, sees her 4-year-old brother being shot at. I don't know if he was killed at that time, but shot at. And she grabs her 7-year-old brother and then runs from her father figure because at that point, like, I mean, that's who she's grown up with. Again, I don't know the dynamic, but like Clayton himself, that's his dad, 100% his dad. And man, it just breaks my fucking heart.
Other thing that really struck me in this case is Laura was concerned, based on comments that were made, that Chad was a danger to himself. That was her concern. It never crossed her mind that her children were in danger. And so they went into
at the time.
Yeah, they went into the bedroom to comfort him because they were afraid that he was a danger to himself. And so whenever he grabs the rifle, her first thought, her only thought, is he's going to harm himself in front of my children. And that's where her concern was. That's where all of their concern was. And then all of a sudden, he points the rifle at a 4-year-old.
We were
fires.
We were talking about her losing that like trust and things like that. And God, can you like 1 kid, 2 kids? You know, you're losing 3 children in one day. And honestly, the innocence of your 14-year-old.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the 14-year-old at least lost her innocence.
Sorry,
you're good.
Yeah, no, 1000%. She became an adult that day.
Absolutely. In the worst possible way. In the worst possible way.
I'm sorry, we got sidetracked. But I'm so upset about that.
I'm telling you, this case shook me.
It's fucking me up a little bit.
It takes a lot to shake me.
Like him.
The prosecutor charged 9 counts of murder. 1 for every shot that was fired into a child.
Good.
Love it.
I like him.
They ended up reducing those because he's just trying to throw everything. So, there was multiple counts that were charged, but the ones that actually went to trial were 3 counts of aggravated murder and 2 counts of felonious assault. He then pled guilty to all 5 counts. So 3 counts of aggravated murder, 2 counts of felonious assault. The death penalty, it was a death penalty case, but because of the plea bargain.
Ohio death penalty?
I mean, yeah.
I didn't know that.
So he pled guilty, I guess, to take that off the table, because obviously his life matters more to him than the life of his 3 children.
Let me shut the fuck up. Oh, Jesus Lord.
At some point, I don't think you should get that choice. I don't think that should be on the table. So he is sentenced to...
I'm waiting for you to give me some sort of an explanation. I don't know what would ever even begin to justify
the thing
that.
is like the time between his arrest and the trial, with all the phone conversations that were being recorded, at points he said he doesn't remember anything. And then he's talking to his mother and he says he remembers everything, including the reason why he done it. But he doesn't tell us what the reason is as to why he
I don't give a fuck what the reason was.
There is no
I don't give
reason.
a fuck if all 3 of them kids were fucking suffocating you. You don't... Oh. I'm so mad. I'm so fucking mad.
I knew you would be.
I'm so fucking angry. God, man. No one, like... Let me...
So, for the 3 counts of murder... or aggravated murder, he is sentenced to life without parole on all 3 counts. So he received 3 life sentences without parole.
3 hots and a cop.
And then the 2 counts of felonious assault, that was against Alexis and Laura, by the way. Because he held Alexis at gunpoint and he shot Laura through the hand. He received 8 to 12 years for those on top of the 3 life sentences. At the sentencing...
You know, I'm honestly surprised he hasn't been taken care of in... prison.
That's one of the things.
Maybe because it's so recent.
Maybe.
And nobody...
There's still hope.
I mean, I'm sure people know, but like...
Yeah.
You know...
But I mean...
Babies. That's babies.
We even see that. Like, there are... We deal with... Like, we have a jail. With our agency.
Not a prison. But we have some people.
We see that there is a hierarchy. And even though they're criminals and they're in jail and they're doing their time, a lot of them are parents.
Absolutely.
And when it comes to kids...
And a significant amount of them women.
Yes.
Kids especially, but women. But like...
And even in the male population, like...
Did you see that? Wait, I'm going off track here and I'm hitting a meme and it's really not funny. Especially this. But it was like... why are we paying for babysitters? Why can't we let the jails take care of these kids that ain't doing shit all day? It's so fucked up. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I know a lot of people are thinking I'm crazy. I know a lot of people are in there for like child crimes and things like that. Yeah. I'm not saying that. I thought it was funny. Never mind. Go ahead.
But no, you're right, because there are... We've seen it even in our small jail.
I think a lot more protect kids.
Crimes against children are not handled well within jail. Because even if people are on drugs or they have theft charges or whatever their charges are, when you're in jail and you're there by yourself and you're just doing time, your family is what you think about. Yeah. And so a lot of times you do see... I've seen a lot of inmates that... They miss their kids, and anyone who could harm a child, zero tolerance.
But even regardless, even if you're fucking... excuse me. I don't know. Okay, anyways. Even if you're like a criminal on a drug charge or you're a thief and you're these things, that doesn't make... that doesn't make you like a child abuser or molester or anything like that. Like, these crimes have nothing to do with that. And like, even me and you right now, well, you like kids. I don't. But, like, me and you, like...
Don't say it like that.
Even so... What? Me?
That you don't like kids. You do.
I love kids. I don't like them. I love children. I just don't like certain... 80% of them. However, they're all good with me. Like, if... Like, these kids, like, I don't know them, but, like, I'm ready to fucking ride for them. I'm ready to go.
To look in their faces, like, I fell in love with these kids. Like,
yeah, I saw that picture and it killed me.
Just their pictures.
It just killed me a second ago.
Yeah.
But, no, I don't mean it like I don't like kids, like, and fuck them kids, and, well, fuck them kids, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't mean it like that, but, like, all these kids are protected around me. However, I'm not a criminal, but the people in jail may have these charges for XYZ, but a lot of them don't have the charges that we consider, like, this one, where it is a child crime, and they are... very protective of those kids, and they have nothing to lose, and they will.
That
take
is the
care
one
of
thing
it.
that we've seen, even from a jail, not prison level, is we've seen inmates have, let's use the term outburst, based on people that are housed with them
Yes.
that have crimes against children.
That's a good point.
And so there's no honor among thieves is the saying. But yeah, when it comes to kids, you have people that are in there
chomos,
yeah.
gone.
Yes.
I don't want to say gone like that, but like once it's around, it's no getting back, and no one has to leak that shit except the person.
Mm-hmm. And this is a high profile case, so I'm sure like prisons have TVs, prisons have news,
absolutely,
and so
they get on Facebook and stuff.
They do, because now even in
I'm on like jail TikTok, like
even
people in jail
even
are
in
on
our
TikTok.
jail, like they have tablets, they have tablet time.
Oh yeah.
And so they have access to internet. They have access to information. So it used to be that
Oh, do they really have access to the internet?
to
I know they have
certain aspects of it. And also like they have communication with the outside world, with their family. And so can you like any person in that jail is going to be talking to their girlfriend or their wife or their mom,
Yeah, right?
And be like, "Did you hear that so and so did this to 3 children?"
And now he's locked up in your jail.
And all of a sudden that name shows up in your pod. So there's still hope that the death penalty may still be on the table in a different way.
Oh my God, we're going to hell.
So
Hey, when I say I don't like kids, I don't mean it like that. Like,
I know.
I love these people might not like them.
I have seen you around children. You are great with kids.
I love kids. I just don't like kids. God, that sounds even worse. Never mind.
As long as there aren't 30 of them walking in for trick-or-treating,
Exactly.
you are fine. So, for those of you who don't know Taylor, Taylor is an introvert to a whole new level. And a few years ago, we were dispatching on Halloween night. I believe you dressed up for that year.
All I had was kitty ears on. And
It was kitty ears and whiskers.
I had with eyeliner.
Yeah.
It wasn't that.
So she's all in the festive mood until the trick-or-treaters show up. And now, granted,
I was scared.
we had officers that were going to go answer our door because we are in a secure facility.
Yes.
And the officers took the bowls of candy to the door. We thought
the officers who knew I don't like to talk to people.
Yes. They took the candy to the door, and upon opening the door to our dispatch facility, they then invited people in, and what we were expecting to be a couple of kids, because we'd had a couple trick-or-treaters.
Right. I'm good with a couple at a time.
Yeah.
I'm good with a couple people
30 people walked into our office.
Taylor walked right out.
Taylor was out the door, and she was gone for a while.
Shannon was dispatched all
by myself.
fire, law, and
To the point
rescue.
that I had an off-duty officer that brought his kids in. We had sat there and talked for 20 minutes, and he said, "Are you working by yourself?"
I was nearby. I was waiting for anything to happen. Like, I was close enough to come through the door.
This officer said, "Are you working by yourself?" And I said, No, Taylor's here." He looks around the room, because he's been there for a minute.
I'm
And
scared.
he said, "Where?" And I said, "She's hiding." Mm-hmm. So, yeah, kids in small numbers are fine.
Also, if there's a parent listening, let your kids be kids. There's nothing worse than like me trying to like interact with a child and then be like, "Don't do this, don't do that, don't do that, don't do," like, just, I mean, I get it, like in a like
let kids be kids around us.
Let kids be kids, especially around me. Like, it just makes me nervous. I can't imagine your child. Anyways, let me shut up. Like, we're getting on a whole different topic here.
All right, so we get to the sentencing phase, and so he is given 3 counts of life without parole and 2 sentences of 8 to 12 years for the felonious assault. Alexis, the 14-year-old, our superhero of this story.
We love her.
She makes a statement.
Oh, gosh.
At the sentencing hearing.
I don't like her, but I just want to love her.
I absolutely adore this child, and I hope that she has the best life in the world.
Yeah.
She says, "I don't think I'll ever be able to hate you." This is to Chad. "I don't think I'll ever be able to hate you.
Oh, gosh.
You did something so horrific and traumatic to those boys, but I will forever hold on to the memories I have of you and the boys, because those are all happy memories." Like, there isn't a bad childhood story here. She says, "I will never in a million years forgive you for what you did, and I hope that you pay for your actions, but I'll never hate you."
God.
From a 14-year-old.
I don't even
I am 40. I don't have that grace.
Nope.
I do not.
Love her.
Yeah.
I hope she accomplishes so many things.
Absolutely.
She deserves it.
So he is now serving his 3 consecutive life sentences, and
3's not enough for me.
it's not.
I'm just so mad.
And honestly, I don't know in this situation.
Where's his jail again?
I don't know which prison he's being housed
At
in.
Prison of Ohio. Fed, send it to him.
But I don't know that death penalty would have been enough.
No, death penalty is the.
It is.
I'm.
But it's you go and you lay down and you get strapped down.
As he
and
should.
You get injections and you fall asleep peacefully. I don't want that for him.
So you want but
I want violence.
We go with the political thing about the death penalty thing and stuff like that. However,
regardless of whether or not you believe in the death penalty, I don't want the easy one for him.
I don't want him having 3 hots and a cot for
Exactly.
the rest of his 3 lives, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
No, them babies didn't get to.
No,
so fuck him.
7, 4, and
let him
3,
sit on
Taylor.
that fucking. What's that thing called? Gurney? It's not a gurney.
Yeah.
It's like a thing. Let him sit on that thing and have that fear that he had right before he's about to get injected or electrocuted or whatever it is nowadays. Injections. I want a firing squad. When I get mine, I've already requested. Can you request your own snipers and shooters and your firing squad?
You're going to pick friends to put you down?
Yes. I want a good shot at the very least. I want to have some good shooters in my line. I don't have no people that are... And did you know that, like, so if there's 10, only like 5 say... I'm not saying it like 100% this is accuracy, but like, say, like, if there's 10 people, only 5 actually get...
Live rounds?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, because that way everyone has the possibility that they didn't take another human life. It gives the executioners... a little bit of, like, grace, I guess.
Whatever. If I'm on the firing squad...
Put me on this one, give me live rounds.
Give me the... What is it? What I said the other day, and I was like, pew, 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 pew.
You want full auto.
Yes, that's what I want. I want to go... But if I'm ever on it, I want to request my own shooters, and I want to know who has the live rounds, because I want a good shot. I don't want this, like... in the calf and my shin bullshit.
But in order to do that, you're going to pick people that you know.
That's cool.
To put you down.
Yeah. You don't think people that I know would have put me down? You probably would have put me down some 90% of the time.
No, ma'am. I'm a great shot. I not ever want to put
why
you
you're on
down.
my firing squad.
I'm never going to be on your firing squad.
Like, Brad's not going to be on my firing squad.
Brad's actually a great shot.
He's not going to be on my firing squad, though.
No.
He's not going to be a great shot at me.
He would not have the heart to do it. He can outshoot me.
I'm a better shot than Lucifer, so.
That makes sense.
And he's a cop.
Well, that's also... Never mind.
Oh, Lord.
So, yeah.
We're getting distracted.
That's the story of Chad Doerman.
So, we need this...
Doerman?
To get to fucking Ohio. No, I'm like, let me shut up. This is a joke for all intents and purposes.
But yeah. I've read a lot of true crime. Yeah. And I've researched a lot of cases for this podcast and just in general. I have never had to take a break from a case.
You did.
I've never...
You sat back and breathed for a minute.
This one about got me. Like, I'm not emotional at all.
No.
But the pictures.
Oh, no.
The pictures got me.
When I looked them up a couple minutes ago, it hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine what Laura, how she feels. And Alexis, I hope doubt she'll ever listen to this, but if she ever does, you are a badass and you grow up way too fast. And I hope you, like, exceed into expectations beyond above.
Yeah.
And you didn't deserve it. And neither did Laura. And neither of those babies.
No.
Do you have a quote?
I do have a quote.
Do you have a quote?
So this is... Yeah, I finally did a quote.
Oh, I love it.
I followed in your footsteps.
Hit it with your chest.
It said, I cannot think of any need in childhood as strong as the need for a father's protection. And that is from Sigmund Freud.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Shannon.
I know.
Fuck you. Okay, bye.
So, we hope that you guys have enjoyed this episode of Nefarious, and we look forward to you joining us next time with our next case.
Okay, love you. Bye.